guys, how's it going? Happy Halloween. I'm back with 3 disturbing true Halloween horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. This did come out a few weeks ago, but once it came out I was like, this is not going to be posted until Halloween. I'm filming this right now on Halloween. It's 1 a.m. right now on Halloween, but this came out October 12th, so 2 days before our Thanksgiving. But yeah, I waited until now to do it because it should be released today on Halloween, right? That makes more sense. So 3 disturbing true Halloween horror stories. If you guys are trick-or-treating tonight, please be safe. I've seen articles about people having needles and candy and things like that, so I know a lot of you guys are younger and stuff like that, so please be careful if you guys are going out to parties or anything like that. Or doing whatever you guys are doing, just be careful, because apparently Halloween is like the deadliest, not really holiday, but like deadliest time of the year because people are drinking and driving, and then it's just dangerous, right? So please be safe and careful. But happy Halloween, and hopefully you guys have a good Halloween. And here to entertain you, I got some horror stories for you guys today. So, starting, this ought to be fun. Our house is nice and decorated. I gotta make sure that we have our lights ready and everything, and to make it all spooky, and it'll be fun. I can't believe it's already Halloween. Like I remember Halloween like it was last year, and now it's Halloween again, and it's just like, damn, like I don't even know. It's so weird. Like it just seems like it keeps flying by, and every year it's Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. And then again, my birthday just passed, right? So it's kind of like my birthday, and I'm like older. I'm like, fuck, bro, slow down, chill. I'm 25 already, bro. Like I don't want to get any older. 25 is already scary, like scary to me, bro. Anyways, we've started this video. Gonna give it a like, because I will like this video 100%. It's almost 23 minutes. So yes, let's get going, guys. 3 disturbing true Halloween horror stories. Again, be safe tonight. Let's go. Gregine. I like the...
This is a disturbing memory from my young childhood. I was about 7 or 8 years...
I love that music. Like, that was a horrible... whatever. Like this part, like this part, hold on.
This is a disturbing memory from my young childhood. I was about 7 or 8 years old. My mom would usually take my brother and I trick-or-treating, but this particular year, after school, she dropped me off at my friend Sean's house, where Sean, our friend Johnny, and I would go together.
Okay.
Johnny and Sean were a year older than me. We met while I was playing with my brother on the block. Johnny and Sean lived around the block.
Sorry, I kind of zoned out for 2 seconds. Let me just replay that guy. Sorry.
Sean, our friend Johnny, and I would go together. Johnny and Sean were a year older than me.
Okay.
We met while I was playing with my brother on the block.
Okay.
Johnny and Sean lived around the block from me. Sean had a weird upbringing that I never really understood. His sister was like 20 years old. There was a big gap between them. She was always his caretaker, it seemed, whenever I was at his house. His house always smelled like cat, and his sister always had a different guy over, it seemed like.
Damn.
His sister was always cold to me, in the sense that she never acknowledged me or say hi or anything. Sean's dad was never in the picture, and his mom, I believe, was always working out of town, I guess. I only met Sean's mom a few times. We never really stayed in touch for long enough for me to figure all this out.
Okay.
Anyway, my mom dropped me off at Sean's, expecting that Sean's mom would be trick-or-treating with us. After saying goodbye, I went into his house. Johnny was already there. We all had big pillow sacks to fill with candy. This was around the time that I learned that neither Sean's mom nor sister were coming with us to supervise.
Okay.
I was young, so I sort of felt slightly uncomfortable knowing...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you said that you were like 7 or 8 or 8 or 9. That's crazy young, bro. And being with like someone only 1 year older than you, so if you're 7 or 8, that's 8 or 9, or if you're 8 or 9, that's 9 or 10. That's totally young.
That Johnny and Sean would be leading the way. But at the same time, I felt a sense of excitement that we'd have more freedom.
Yeah, true.
I knew for a fact my mom would not have approved of us going unsupervised, though.
Definitely not.
So, eventually, we were off into the neighborhood, walking around doing our rounds door to door. Quite a few people asked if we were alone or where our parents were.
Yeah.
And Johnny would always be the one to use the same lie, that his mom is up ahead with his sister. It worked every time. This was on a Friday, so we didn't get to start at trick-or-treating until around 5 o'clock. But we didn't have...
Halloween on a Friday's great. I know this year it's on a Thursday, which isn't horrible, but I don't know about you guys also, but the weather is fucking insane. Like the weather right now, even right this second, it's 19 degrees Celsius. Let me just go what that is in Fahrenheit for you Americans. Temperature units, so Fahrenheit. You reload the app, then it'll update for me. It is 66 degrees Fahrenheit, which is actually very, very nice for this time of year in Canada. The high was 73 today, which is insane. Tomorrow it's going to be 73, feels like 79, which is really insane. In the evening, 66 feels like 68. It's really weird to use these numbers because I'm like, what? Because I'm not used to these numbers. Like I'm seeing 70 and I'm like, holy shit, that's like freaking boiling. Because you know that's what I'm thinking. But damn, bro. Okay, yeah. So 73 tomorrow with some rain, and it feels like 79, which is insane. That's actually a really nice temperature. So I don't know about you guys, but again, typically on my birthday, like last year on my birthday, I was freezing my ass off while we went to the Mandarin for like the all-you-can-eat buffet, and then we were like going outside a little last year on my birthday. It was fucking freezing. I was wearing a cold sweater, like a fluffy sweater, like a thick sweater. No, it was like 1 degrees, which is probably, I don't know how much that is in Fahrenheit, but it's gonna be significantly different this year. So
School the next day, so we intended on going until our pillow sacks were completely full. Break after a couple of hours and went to Sean's, where he heated up a bunch of frozen pizzas. At the time, I was so jealous of the apparent freedom he had in his house, not having parents who cared about what he did. But looking back now, I count myself super blessed to have grown up in a household with 2 strict parents. After we hung out at his house for an hour and watched Halloween specials on Nickelodeon while eating pizza and candies, Johnny eventually was picked up by his mom. But Sean and I wanted to keep going, so we eventually headed back out for round 2.
okay.
It was dark out now, and it had to be past 8 p.m. There were a lot less trick-or-treaters now. We tried to go to certain blocks we hadn't gone down yet, which meant straying further away from Sean's house. We found a block we hadn't touched yet, and continued knocking on doors. Some houses didn't answer at this hour, and mostly everyone else had a comment about us being alone or how it's getting late.
Yeah.
We noticed a man pushing a stroller a couple houses down behind us. He was walking very slowly in our direction, probably a dad trick-or-treating for his young child. As we continued going door to door, the man with the stroller got closer. Eventually, we heard him going shh and singing softly. Eventually, he caught up to us, and he said, "How's the trick-or-treating going, boys?" And we replied, "Good," at the same time. And then he said, "It's pretty late. I'm on my way back to my house. I can give you guys the rest of my candy."
No, I'm good. Or if you guys say yes, then yes, we'll wait outside for you, but
Sean and I looked at each other with telling faces, as if we just hit the jackpot. Sean asked what kind of candies, and he said a bunch of bags of different things. He said he didn't get to give much away because he wanted to take his daughter out for a trick-or-treat stroll. He did have a bag dangling on one of the handles of the stroller, which was filled with some candies. The stroller was fully covered by a folding piece on the top, so
he's probably pretending to have a kid, but he doesn't actually have a kid.
we couldn't see his daughter. He said she's asleep and he didn't want to wake her up. He pointed ahead and said his house is just up this way. So we followed behind him as he pushed the stroller.
If he tells you guys to go inside, say fuck you, I'm not going inside. If you want to give me candy, fucking fantastic. I'm gonna wait outside on the sidewalk. I'm not going to your porch. I'm not going anywhere near your house. I'm staying on the sidewalk waiting for the candy. Okay? Thank you.
He was walking a little faster now. As we walked, I realized there was next to no one else out at this point, even though it was a Friday night. It seemed like a quieter side of the neighborhood. The man talked to us as we walked, asking us questions. What part of the neighborhood we were from, where we went to school, basic stuff.
Don't worry about
I
it.
let Sean answer most of the questions. Him being even just a year older than me at that age, I felt like he was the one who should take lead. On multiple occasions as we walked, the man would lean into the stroller and talk in a high pitch to his daughter. Then he'd turn back and smile at us. He finally made it to his house. He led us up the walkway with the stroller and unlocked his door. After he opened it, he brought the stroller with his daughter inside first, and then invited us to come inside.
No. No.
Sean led the way, so I followed. I was the one to ask if we could leave the door open, and the man paused, and then said, "Yeah, of course." He said he'll be right back as he goes to get the candy bag.
If you're gonna be right back, why can't we wait outside, stupid? Why do I have to be inside the house? Stupid.
He pushed the stroller into the middle of the living room, only about 10 feet away from where we were standing. I nudged Sean because I felt uncomfortable. I whispered, "Why would he leave the candy so far away?" Sean didn't respond. Instead, he turned toward the living room and then walked up to the stroller. He lifted up the folding part that was covering the baby, and he looked disturbed. He hurried back to me, whispering, "Let's go."
Yep.
He was full on running once we got outside, and I followed behind, which was a bit tougher because we had those heavy pillow sacks. I still was confused about what he saw, but just then, we heard a woman's voice yell, "Excuse me." It was one of his neighbors. She came running over to us and asked if we know that man, and it was at this point that Sean spilled the beans and said he offered us his leftover candy, but he was pushing a stroller with a fake baby in it. I remember getting goosebumps as he said that. The woman said, "Yeah, that man doesn't have a child. I saw you walking by with him." She took us to her car and drove each of us home. I know, getting into a stranger's car after that was another questionable move. The woman came to my front door to talk to my mom about what we just told her. My mom was distraught. After I told her every last detail about the night, she sent me to my room while my parents called the police on that man. My parents never told me anything about what happened after that. I believe they wanted to shelter me from any more exposure to the situation. My mom didn't want me going over to Sean's house anymore, and I know she had quite a bit to say to Sean's mom.
Yeah.
I did see Sean at school once in a while still.
Why does it just say school right there? What?
And we remained cordial, but our friendship was never the same after that night.
I wouldn't even say it's Sean's fault, really. Like, you know, Sean led the way. Obviously, he was a bit older, so obviously the younger one took his spot, like, let him lead, like he said. But it's like, still, like, you know what I mean? That's not cool. Like, you should know, like, being older, too, you should know the situation. You should know, like, yeah, if you want candy, sure, yeah, just wait outside. Like, why even go inside the house? Like, never go inside someone's house on a Halloween. I don't give a fuck what the scenario is. Oh, it's in the basement. It's cold outside. Let me just, no, bitch, I'm staying outside. Thanks. Fucking freaking got me bent, as I've heard people say. I'm a copycat and think of my own shit. Next story by Carla Mangilla. I don't know. Who cares? These stories piss me off, bruh.
It was Halloween night, 2016. I was tasked by my
The clown epidemic, I believe, or not epidemic, but the clown thing.
parents to hand out candies to all the kids for the day. My mom bought 1,000,000 bags of candy that I knew we'd have left over for weeks, and I'd be the one regrettably munching on them for days, if not weeks to come, as I was
Be jealous. Well, I mean, you guys are gonna get a bunch of this tonight, so it doesn't even matter.
trying to lose weight. I always told my mom she
Same
went
though.
way overboard with the candies. The house was in a cul-de-sac on a dead end. We hardly got any trick-or-treaters usually. However, we did have some loyal kids who'd always come to our house, knowing how much candy we'd give. Halloween was on a Monday this year. I was in college. I conveniently had Mondays and Wednesdays off this semester.
Okay.
So the first half of the day, I went to the gym and then worked on my assignments for class. It was always around 4 p.m. that the sound of kids outside would indicate that trick-or-treaters were out. The first time the doorbell rang was, I guess, somewhere between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. The day went as you'd expect. There's nothing interesting about handing out candies all day to little kids and my dog Vito barking like crazy every time the doorbell rang. I'd say from the first trick-or-treater to 8 p.m., there were maybe 10 to 15 total. As I said, that cul-de-sac was out of the way for people to come. It was more effective for trick-or-treaters to pass it and just keep going straight. It being a Monday night, things quieted down much earlier than usual, I'd say. I got enough homework done, I put a dent in my project, and so I had some of my mom's leftover stew and went to my room to watch Game of Thrones.
Okay.
I was literally 2 episodes in when I heard the unexpected sound of the doorbell. Vito started barking again. I looked at the clock and it had to be like 9:30. This was definitely beyond the cutoff time for trick-or-treaters.
Yeah.
I went downstairs to the front door and opened it. On the other side of the glass storm door was a very tall man in a clown costume with a very scary looking mask.
Fuck.
I knew it was a man just based off the frame of the person. He was alone. He waved at me and then pointed at the brown sack he was holding. It looked basically empty. I didn't open the storm door. I just said through it, "Sorry, we don't have any more candy," and slammed the door shut.
Damn.
I locked it right away. I instantly regretted opening the door. I genuinely thought it was just some kid or an unfortunate mother or father who worked late and wanted to get some last-minute trick-or-treating in with their kids.
That's why you check who it is first. You don't just open the door. Even though you didn't open both doors, you check first. You know?
Whoever I just saw on our stoop was not a kid. Hell, it didn't even look like a teenager. The frame of this person was massive, and the clown costume just made him look even bigger. Thankfully, I didn't grab the candy bag before opening the door, so he couldn't see that I was lying. I hovered by the door for a bit just to listen and see if I'd hear footsteps walking away. But not only did I not hear him walk away, he rang the doorbell again. Vito once again started going ballistic. Vito's a rat terrier. His bark is not intimidating, nor would he ever actually defend the home from an intruder. I picked him up and carried him upstairs after turning off the lights downstairs. This was my half-assed attempt at getting him to think I was absolutely never opening that door again tonight. I put Vito in my room and shut the door so he wouldn't keep barking. I stood at the top of the stairs listening, and then I heard through the front door, the storm door being forced open, like there was a loud snap implying that the latch may have been broken from force.
Oh shit.
I then heard both knocks on the front door, and then the doorknob moving around.
911.
At this point, I decided to hide in my room. I was incredibly unsettled. I texted my family group chat about what was going on. No one answered, though. Of course. I knew that whoever that was had to get bored. I would have texted all my guy friends asking who it was, but all my guy friends are short. I resumed the episode I was watching. I was truly just trying to pretend he wasn't there.
So let me get this straight. Someone already broke your front door open, knocking on the second one, trying to get in. It's fine, I'm just gonna watch Game of Thrones. 911, stupid.
What else was I to do? The doorbell rang once again, though. This was a nightmare. I kept telling Vito to shush. I had my blinds closed too. I didn't want that fucking clown knowing what room I was in. I tried calling my dad, but he didn't pick up.
There's another number you could call, stupid. It's shorter than your dad's number, I can guarantee you that.
I called my brother, who
Oh
picked
my
up
God.
saying he wasn't alone, and I knew that meant he was with a girl. I told him check my texts. There's some guy dressed as a clown at the door, and he won't go away. My brother said it's a Halloween prank and to just ignore it. He seemed like he was in a hurry to get off the phone, so I hung up.
He was probably doing the date or something.
I hoped he was right. It honestly made the most sense to be a prank. So after a few more minutes of sitting on the edge of my bed, anxious, the doorbell did not ring again. I finally felt safe to relax again and lay back down. I started drifting away slowly, so I turned off the TV to allow complete silence and darkness in the room. And very shortly after that, I drifted to sleep.
Okay.
I don't even think I was asleep long enough to enter REM state and have a dream when I woke up to Tito growling and quietly barking, as he would do when he was waiting for approval from one of us. I told him to be quiet, and he stopped.
Why do I feel like someone's in the house? Like someone's probably on the other side of your bedroom door, bro. Fuck, bro.
I looked to see what he was looking at. He was looking at the window. I listened. There was a sound coming from like right outside the window. The slightest thumping sounds. And I could almost swear the sound of something rubbing on the window. My bedroom was on the second floor of the house. It's not like anyone could be outside my window, but I wondered what it was. I got up and pushed open the blind on my window, and boy was I wrong.
Oh my god, bro. Holy shit. Like, I saw that coming, but fuck, oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bro. Fuck, that was so good. Oh, I'm so glad I do reactions. This is why I fucking do reactions. Fucking, I was gonna say fucking Damian. Fuck, that's honestly terrifying. That's Pennywise as well. Okay, can I just switch the scenery? Thank you, I don't want to see that again. Oh my god. Sorry guys, let me just give me a few more seconds. Fuck, bro. I saw it coming, I just didn't expect it to be that so blunt. Boom! Just like that. Fuck, bro.
I got up and pushed open the blind on my window, and boy was I wrong. That man dressed as a clown was at my window.
Fuck.
All I could see was that horrific mask on the other side of the glass. He tilted his head as he looked at me, screaming my lungs out. Tito didn't even bark from what I remember, or maybe I just blocked everything else out. I ran with my phone out of my room and to my parents' bedroom, where I locked the door and dialed 911.
About time.
I was too shook to even cry. My whole body was shaking, and My voice was trembling as I spoke to the 911 operator.
Holy fuck.
I must have asked the operator once every 20 seconds to get the police to hurry up. She'd tell me the same thing every time. They're coming as fast as they can. The police got to the house in roughly 10 minutes. They examined the exterior of the house to look for any attempted entry points. All they found was that the latch on the front storm door was broken, like I figured, and leaned against the side of the house by my bedroom window was my dad's ladder. That man went into our storage shed outside and found my dad's ladder to use to climb up to my window. To avoid this going any further, I went to go sleep at my guy friend Adam's house. To this day, I don't know if this was just a sick prank purposely played on Halloween, or if there was about to be a horrible crime committed with the sick novelty of it being Halloween.
Right? Like, I like how... Oh, an anonymous story coming up here. This one's gonna be almost 8 minutes long. Okay. Fuck, that got me good, bro. I seriously, I think that restarted already my heart. God, that got me so good. Anyways, 20-minute reaction? No, okay. Damn, that was just intense, though. I really hope it was just a prank, but...
It was late October, Saturday, Halloween weekend.
Hey.
I think Halloween was on a Tuesday this year, so the big party night was the Saturday before. My friends and I were still looking for last minute.
Yeah, same thing. I think the weekend that just passed, it was just like Saturday, Sunday, right? Or Friday, Saturday. That was the Halloween parties before my birthday, and then Thursday's Halloween, so.
Plans, since everything was
Today's
sold
Halloween,
out.
Thursday.
Ideally, we wanted to find a house party. We all had pretty funny costumes too, and we wanted to get good use out of them. My friend Kate actually decided to put on her Instagram and Snapchat stories looking for parties tonight. Not something I would have ever done. I'd find that to be kind of shameless and embarrassing, but I was glad she was willing to do it. I was surprised when she texted in the group chat that someone hit her up about a party. Pretty soon after, she sent a screenshot of the details in the group chat.
Do you know them?
It had an address, start time, and a few ground rules.
Okay.
Such as the party would only be indoors, no backyard access, and bring your own booze. It also said must bring at least one girl for every guy. The guy who sent the details to Kate was one of our guy friends around our age, who mutually knew a lot of the same people we did.
Okay.
Apparently a number of people we knew were going to this party. The house address was one town over, super close. So between the four of us, we all went to Shauna's house since she had the open crib. We pre-gamed there for about an hour as we all finished up getting ready. We waited till our guy friends confirmed that they were going. Then we decided to head over. We called an Uber. We all had our own drinks, varying from Four Locos to White Claws to vodka shooters. The Uber driver was probably sick of us by the end of the drive. When we got to the house, we saw a bunch of cars everywhere. The house was pretty big, very spacious front yard. We were four girls walking in, so surely whoever was throwing this party was gonna love us. We didn't hear any music until we got closer to the door. Then we heard the beating of the bass. I opened the door, and the first room we were in was the cross between the living room and the kitchen. The entire house was very dimly lit, only by a bunch of orange lights hung up, definitely creating a Halloween party ambiance.
Okay.
The place was decently crowded, but honestly, we didn't know anyone. Kate texted the guys we knew to see if they were here yet. In the meantime, some older guy came and greeted us. He asked our names, and he said he's John, Luke's dad. Apparently, Luke was the guy throwing this party. I asked who Luke...
Sorry.
The older guy came and greeted
Sorry, I kind of zoned out again.
us. He asked our names, and he said he's John, Luke's dad.
Okay.
Apparently, Luke was the guy throwing this party. I asked who Luke is, where he goes to school, and he replied, oh, he's around here somewhere. You can ask him when you see him. Then he asked us if we wanted to put our drinks in the cooler. He led us into the kitchen, where there were 3 big coolers of ice. Each one already had a bunch of drinks in it. So we put some of our cans in the coolers. The John guy seemed like he was 50-something years old, which would make sense if his son was the one throwing the party. But at the same time, it seemed slightly weird he'd be so welcoming and involved in such a big party in his own house. He was going around talking to everybody. Well, it seems mostly the girls. He seemed like he could have also been drunk. The 4 of us played beer pong at one of the tables.
I don't know, this is kind of bugging me. Like, why is there 1 thing here, 2 here, 1 here, a random bitch here? Like, I don't like this setup, I'm sorry.
Where some guys started talking to us, so we started playing them. Kate then said our guy friends were on the way, which I was happy to hear. John suddenly yelled my and Kate's names over by the counter in the kitchen. He was yelling shots. My other two friends, Shauna and Tracy, looked slightly offended, so I said, "Can we all have one?" And he yelled, "Yeah, sure." So we went over to the kitchen counter by him and all took a shot of tequila. I gagged because there was no lime. I was definitely starting to get drunk after this. It was odd how much the dad of the house was trying to hype this party up. He had this oddly welcoming yet unsettling presence.
He's probably trying to get everyone drunk so he can do something with the girls or something.
The unsettling part because he was much older than the generally college-aged people here, and he was pushing drinks on people. Then he asked what our poison is. I wasn't going to say anything until the girls all gave their favorite drinks. John started making a bunch of mixed drinks.
Plus, honestly, I would not want to go to this party because I feel like people would drug things like this. I don't like it at all. I feel like my drink would be drugged. I feel like something would happen, and I wouldn't trust it. No, thank you. Nope.
In the meantime, we went back to the beer pong table where the guys we were playing were still waiting. I plugged my phone into an outlet just because I was down to like 50%. Then I went back to the game. Mid-game, John came over with 2 drinks for Kate and I, and then he came back with 2 more for Shauna and Tracy.
Okay.
They were all in red Solo cups. He made me a vodka soda. I sipped on it during our beer pong game whenever I had a chance. I was drinking it slow because I was already drunk. After we lost to the random guys, I went to get my phone, only to realize it didn't charge at all. It was still at the same percent. The outlet wasn't working.
Oh.
I didn't feel comfortable leaving my phone on any other outlets, so I just refrained from killing the battery any further.
Yeah, but wouldn't you like make sure it's charging first? You don't just plug it in and leave. You make sure it's charging first. Is that just a Damian thing? Like, why would I leave it plugged in and then it's not doing anything? I make sure it says charging? Okay, great. Then I leave. Like,
our guy friends eventually showed up, and it was soon after this point that things quickly became a blur. I mean, very quickly. Like, 1 second I remember talking with our friend Jeff, the next blacked out. The next thing I remember was my friends waking me up in the car outside my house. I felt woozy. My vision was blurred. My head was spinning. We were in one of our guy friends' cars. One of the guys walked me to my front door and helped me inside. Then they all left. I was alone, except for my parents asleep in their room. I felt I must have drank way too much, but I also had a woozy, weird feeling in my head that I'd never felt from drinking. I felt dizzy. I went straight to my room to bed. I checked my phone, and I had some text from a random unsaved number. I opened it, and there were a bunch of texts already. It started with me texting my name, and then they responded, "John." Uh-oh. After that, he said, "You look so cute." Based on the time he sent this, it was still during the party. There was a 2-hour gap from then until he texted me again saying, "Where did my favorite girls go?" I was shocked at myself that I gave that man my number. I must have been drunker than I thought. But regardless, I lowered my head onto the pillow.
I mean, you did leave your phone there, right? Maybe he took her number, or I don't know. Maybe you're stupid enough to not to have a passcode or something.
I fell asleep instantly. The next morning, I woke up to some disturbing texts. As my head was spinning, I read these sickening texts. After I fell asleep, I got texts from John that said, "Where are you? I'm coming to your house. You left something here." Followed by, "I'm here. Can you come to the door?" Followed by, "Hello, are you awake?" He also tried calling me 3 times. This was all at like 2 a.m. I sent the screenshot to my friends, and this was when they reminded me of what happened. John was all over me as I was increasingly becoming a zombie. My friends started getting concerned, so they pulled me away and we left the party. And just as we were leaving, 2 police cars showed up outside, presumably for a noise complaint. And as we left, everyone took note of there being no furniture in the house. It was just a big empty space filled with people and beer pong tables. One of my guy friends looked up the number somehow, and he told me it was a voice over IP number, which I didn't understand, so he just said it was a fake phone number that John texted me from. He also said that with my number, he could easily find my address. I felt even more sick now. I asked if anyone ever met his alleged son, and everyone said no. We were starting to think there was no son, and when Shauna suggested he might have roofied me, it made so much sense.
Yep.
I'd never before felt the way I was feeling.
Drugged.
We decided to take this to the police. We all went to the nearest police station and reported everything, including the texts. The cop at the front desk asked if this was in relation to the house party in the vacant house last night. We were at first confused by him saying vacant house, until he explained that there was a call from neighbors about a party going on in a house that had been vacant for some time. We all looked at each other with our mouths gaping. We were all brought into an office to sit down with, I guess, a detective to take down the whole story. He took the fake phone number and said they'll try to trace this back to somebody once they get a warrant.
Okay.
We gave the police everything we could, and we went on our way. I blocked the fake number. I honestly felt sick over this for a while. As the days went on and nothing happened, I was confident it was over. But none of us ever heard from the police. We never heard of any arrests being made or anything. To think that man went out of his way to advertise a house party in a vacant house to have access to young women, roofied me and possibly other girls, lied about having a son, all of this. This was clearly a very, very dangerous man, and the fact that we still haven't been called in to identify anybody scares me to think he's still roaming free. This was a month ago. I'll update if things change, and I'm crossing my fingers that they do.
That was a really good Halloween video, not gonna lie to you guys. That was really good. Terrifying with the fucking jump scare there, but I figured it's a Halloween video. They should add a crazy jump scare like that. Okay. You should really do 3 updates from previous stories. Would really like to know if any major updates came about in the previous stories. That is true. That is really true. I would like to know about that too. Because I basically watched every Mr. Nightmare video, right? The moment he said it happened on Halloween 2016, I instantly knew it was going to involve a clown. Same here. That's why I said clowns. I knew it. I called it, of course. The person in the second story actually made me mad. Like, why ain't you call the cops as soon as the clown broke the storm door, but you called your brother and not the cops? Right? Stupid. I swear, people in these stories have no survival instincts. It's so true, though. They're all so stupid. Oh, what else was I to do? Call the police. Exactly. That's why I remember when they said what else was I supposed to do. I was like, hello. There's a 3 number that you call. Sad to see their friendship forcibly terminated by the kid's mom. If Sean hadn't had the brains balls to check the stroller, they would have probably never gotten out of the house again. Well, they shouldn't have gone in the first place. The clown story is crazy. As I was listening, it reminded me of what happened back in 2016 when people were going around dressing as clowns. You going on college campuses, freaking people out. When I double checked, and Halloween was on Monday in 2016, so it checks out. I don't ever accept a random drink from anyone. Exactly. That's why even going to a party, like I went to my friend's birthday party in April. Not really my friend anymore, but I went to his birthday party in April in downtown, somewhere in a different city, so I took the bus that evening. And yeah, I bought some orange juice, and then one of my friends, because I guess they wanted, I didn't really drink that much, and I'm not a big drinker, right? So when I went to get a drink, I was like, yeah, I'll just take some orange juice, because I guess the bar was like, yeah, you know, there was a party but no one was buying anything, so someone told me to buy something, so I was like, fine. So I do. I barely drink it though, because I had a few sips, and I left it alone for a little bit, and then my friend was like, you should watch out in case someone drugs it. And I was like, that's a good point. Never drank from it again. That's it. And the weird thing is yesterday, or sorry, yeah, 2 days ago now, on my birthday, right, 29th, I went to this bowling place in my city, and went with a few friends, had a few cocktails. Then I had a drink at home as well, so I drank like 3 drinks that night, which is really rare for me, really rare for me actually. And I actually kind of felt weird. Like, I still feel weird today. I still feel like weirdly tired. And at the moment I'm filming this, it's 1:52 a.m. on Christmas. It's 1:52 a.m. on Halloween right now. So Halloween just started, right? But yeah, it's really weird. I feel like, I don't know, it's really weird. It's like, where was I going with this? It was really weird. I felt like really like tired and like woozy, and I was like, did I get drugged by someone or something? Like, did the staff drug me or something? Like, what's going on here, bro? Maybe it's because I don't drink a lot, and I did have that drink as well, so maybe that one fucked me up. I don't really know, but yeah, it just kind of makes me think of that. I was kind of like, what happened? Like, I feel so woozy and weird, like kind of like she did. It's crazy how many family members with carefree attitudes. If that was any of my siblings, I'd be on high alert. In the second story, I heard the storm door latch being broken. I really went back to watching Game of Thrones. He said, what else was I supposed to do? Call the cops. I'm pretty sure it was a girl, but bro was a girl. Yeah, it was a girl, not a guy. Story 1, it's good to see kindness of strangers still exists. The neighbor was a hero. Exactly. Again, really quite questionable to go inside another person's vehicle after what just happened, but second story, no way someone is trying to break into your house and you just decide to wait it out. It's fine, I'll just wait till they're done. They're gonna give up eventually, right? No, they're still gonna do it until they get access to your house. So weird to think of how I started watching these videos when I was 9 and it kept me safe on the internet and in a lot of other ways, and I'm in college. Crazy. It's crazy. I didn't want the fucking clown knowing what room I was in. All my girlfriends are short, absolutely took me out, spit out my drink. I love this community, it's like the blanket fort of YouTube. Has me assuming, call the police. Why didn't the person start to maybe call the cops as soon as they heard the latch of the storm being broken? I swear some people have zero survival instincts. That's so true though. They're all stupid. Makes me sick. People like the old creepy dad shouldn't be allowed to roam free. Yeah, honestly, the one in the last story, I didn't really say much about it, but it's like, yeah, like this guy's pretending to have a son most likely, luring girls in there, drugging them. Like, that's just insane, bro. I miss Tricker. I'll do like 4 more comments and then I really gotta edit these videos and head to bed myself. It's almost 2 in the morning. I miss trick-or-treating in the early 2000s. Me and my friends would always go around the neighborhood alone and we'd always be out till 11 or 12 at night when majority of the houses stopped handing out candy. Thankfully we had an active neighborhood with a bunch of people and kids walking around, so glad I was able to grow up then. Honestly, Halloween I feel like gets more and more daddy cheer. That's just my take on it. I don't know what you guys think, but let me guys know. Let me know, you guys. Oh, my girlfriends are short, brutal. Great stories. I think the mom was too harsh by making her son give up his friend though. Yeah, honestly, that's too harsh. Like the mother, yeah, the kid couldn't help that his mom was neglectful. Exactly. It would be better to just make sure that they play at the house that is supervised. Exactly. He came back when we needed him the most. That's a nice civic.
Sean, our friend Johnny, and I would go together.
Pretty nice, I guess. That's all right. I wanted a quarter civic too. Okay, last comment. A nice long one. Seeing some people get annoyed at OP's mom. Who the fuck is OP? In the first story for not letting him go over to Sean's house anymore. And low-key very confused. OP made it clear that his mom was mostly upset with Sean's mom for not being present and supervising the kids, or ensuring that someone else trustworthy to supervise. Any reasonable and caring parent wouldn't allow their child to go into a house where adult supervision is minimal, especially after a situation like that. It wasn't like his mom was blaming Sean, she was upset that Sean's mom was negligent in that case. Yeah, that makes sense, but it's like, you shouldn't be able to you shouldn't have to drop your friend because of that. It's not their fault that the mom sucks, you know? Honestly, he is the GOAT. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, please should give it a like. This video, I'm definitely going to show my sister and her boyfriend when they come over later tonight for Halloween. I'm definitely going to show them this, and it'll be fun. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, please be sure to comment down below. Happy Halloween once again. Comment down below, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you turn on post notifications for myself and Mr. Nightmare. Once again, happy Halloween. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in November. Deuces. Peace.